This is Marion, live from the Kraus kitchen. Now for a baking moment, brought to you by Abolicious. Hi, this is Aggie, founder of Abolicious. Today I wanted to spend a few minutes, introducing my Tuesday Tasty Tips. Okay, that's wrong. Today I wanted to spend a few minutes introducing my Tuesday Tasty Tips. Today I have a few tips for you, so let's get started. Tip number 1, make sure you have the right tools. Here are some of my favorites. So, some of my favorite ones are these spatulas by Rosanna Pansino and her baking line. I use these all the time for making cookies or cupcakes and a bunch of other things. Like if I needed to cook something, I would use these. And then and these are by Rosanna Pansino. On the wood, you can see her signature is engraved from her baking line. And then these are made by Wilton and Rosanna Pansino collaboration. So they put these together and they made these. So I use these all the time. And this is her Nerdy Nummies logo that I watch all the time. So next one. So this is another Wilton spatula like this one, but it's a Valentine's Day spatula. And it has Wilton engraved on the side, and then it's wood at the stick, and then it's just a nice silicone spatula, so you can put it in the dishwasher or you can hand wash it, and same goes with these two. So this one I just like the cute little design on the front that we got for Valentine's Day. So my next one, I think these are the Betty Crocker spatulas. I think they are plastic ones. And you can see there's a little bit of melting right there because we use these for maybe Kraft Dinner or macaroni and cheese and all that stuff. So we use these. We have a rounded one and then we have a pointed one at the end, which is, I don't think there's a big difference, but I think this was a pointed one. This one's a little bit bigger though. So my next ones are some actual Betty Crocker spatulas that I think I got for my birthday this year. And they're really, really tiny. This one has a little bit of a iron shape to it, and this one's just a flat spatula like this one. So it had a little bump in the middle to keep it straight. And then here's the next one, which is the iron shaped one. It has a little stick on the back, and it has Betty Crocker engraved on the side, and same with this one, painted on. And they have little holes so you can clip them together for a little spatula ring. And then my last one I use with my mixer. And this one's kind of dirty because we use it all the time. But here are this is a really, really cool spatula. So this is a Betty Crocker spatula. It doesn't have the name engraved on the side, but it does have a little key ring. I think all of mine have that. Just like that. All of these spatulas have them. And so this is my mixer bowl. The mixer's over there, and these are the beaters that we use for my mixer. And I'll be telling you about my stuff that I use other than tools in my next week. So it has a little tiny clip on the back. It doesn't have a lock or anything, so you just take this and you put it on the side. So if you're mixing something in with a wooden spoon, it just hooks on right like that. Because of that, the batter doesn't drip everywhere. And it's supposed to go this way because then the batter drips into it. If you have an overfilled one, that's okay because then it's just going to drip inside. But these go in here and you mix it up. Here are some Rosanna Pansino measuring spoons. And as you can see, her little baking logo is engraved on all of them. So the colors are, I think there was a dark blue one. I think I'm missing a few, but I have these are all I can find for right now. So I have a yellow, green, orange, blue, and pink one. The yellow one is a 1 tablespoon. This is a half a tablespoon. This is a 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon. I think I had a 1/4 tablespoon and a 1/8 of a teaspoon. And the cool thing about these is it comes with a little clip, and you can use this for so many things. You can use these for this, which this actually came on. So you just hook it onto here, and then you can hook everything on here. So all you gotta do is just slide the little hole like every other spatula had. So like if you're just using 3 baking tools at a time, you can just clip these. So if I wanted to use a Santa spatula, I could just hook it onto here. And if I was using these tools on the go or at a show or something, I could just put these on here and just clip them on. So now I have a baking ring that you can hook onto a backpack or purse. That was tip number 1. Now we're on to tip number 2. A couple did you know facts. Did you know that if you do not have a convection oven, if you're baking cookies, cakes, cupcakes, anything that's kind of like a doughy or watery, or like something like a cupcake batter that's not very thick. So, if you don't have a convection oven, that is okay. So the first thing you're gonna do is, whatever time, if you have a cookie recipe that says cook for 20 to 30 minutes, put it on, if it's 30 minutes, put it on for 15 minutes, because you have to do half the time. So put it on the bottom rack first, and then after 15 minutes is up, do another 15 minutes on the top, so you don't have really, really, really dry cookies from the top just being there all the time. So when you put it onto the bottom, it cooks halfway because convection ovens have more intense heat. But when you do both, it's much, much, much easier. Did you know that when making snacks with eggs, well, I'm just making an egg here for my snack. So if you would like, you can use a fork. Did you know while using eggs for baking, you can take a whisk or a fork, whatever you choose. I use little mini whisks with a clip on the bottom. They're the easiest to hold and pretty nice for whipping things. So all you gotta do, make sure, well, did you know that you need to wash your hands first before baking? I think everybody knows that. But I'm gonna crack my egg into this small bowl. You can use any bowl you want. If you're using 2 or 3 eggs, I recommend using a bigger bowl, but I'm just using 1. So if I'm doing this, I just crack the egg. Make sure to put your shell back in the carton and then make sure to throw it out. Make sure to, if your hands are all slimy after the egg goop, make sure to use a dish towel or a hand towel from anywhere in your house. So now I have to take a fork. Well, always you have to use a fork. And you're going to pop the yolk. And pop the yolk, which is going to make it easier. And just make sure that's just distributed throughout the egg stuff. And once it's kind of like a clear yellowish color, here, come over here. Once it's kind of a clear yellowish color, just stop mixing with the fork and just maybe toss it into the sink. Now you're going to use a whisk. And you know what? I'm going to transfer it into a bigger bowl because it's going to get a little messy. And that's how to make soft eggs for any kind of batter. And that was our Tuesday Tasty Tips. Make sure that that's my Tuesday's Tasty Tips for this week. Hope they were helpful, and keep on baking and have an awesome week. Tune in next week for Tuesday's Tasty Tips.